Hey there everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. If you have heard the term entrepreneur and you're just not exactly sure what that really means, then please stick around for this video because I'll share with you what an entrepreneur is as opposed to an employee. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Melanie Weber and my channel is all about helping you develop the lifestyle and the income in order to live your best life ever. So if that sounds great to you, hit down on there on the big subscribe button. Now let's start with some definitions. An entrepreneur essentially is someone who owns or runs their own company. So they do not have a boss, they are the boss. As opposed to an employee who works for a company or for a single person, and therefore they're not the boss. They don't make the decisions about their work, so they have a boss. So definitions aside, what are the pros and cons of both? So seeing as most entrepreneurs start off as employees, let's cover off on what the pros are for being an employee first. So first of all is a regular or a predictable income. Particularly if you are on a salary, your pay is the same from month to month. So obviously it's really easy to budget around knowing what your income is going to be on any given month. Another huge benefit is leave. So sick leave or annual leave or other types of leaves like parental leave and long service leave. All of these leave benefits are of great benefit to you. You know that you're able to schedule time off in advance and you'll have that time off. And particularly if you are on a salary basis, then that is paid leave. So you are earning money whilst you're away on vacation in the Bahamas. So who wouldn't want that, hey? Sound really quite nice. Another thing with being an employee is that you have standard hours. So whether it's 9 to 5 or whether it's 8 to 4 or whatever it is, you have standard hours that you know that you're going to be at work, and after that time you can clock off and literally clock off from work until you go in the next work day. And another huge benefit of being an employee is that you don't have accountability for the business. You are not the ultimate decision maker, so it is out of your hands as to what the decisions made. You don't have that pressure put on you. So with that, the pros, there's of course cons. So among the cons of being an employee is that you are indispensable. As much as some people would like to believe that the company cannot continue going without them, they're completely wrong. They're disillusioned. If you leave a company, then you can be replaced within a matter of a couple of weeks at the most. So there is that uncertainty or insecurity around that you can be replaced as an employee. Employees, they typically trade their time for money. So in exchange for them working over a period of time, they receive money for that. So the only way that they can earn more money is by working extra time, okay, through overtime or generally overtime. Another con of being an employee is that they don't have control over their earning potential. So it is dictated to them as to when they will get a promotion or when they will get greater responsibilities within their job to warrant a higher income. And the other thing is that, as I said, it's a pro that they don't have ultimate decision making over the business. That's also a con that they are at the whim of the company or the employer that they work for as to the direction that the company goes, which they may not always tend to agree with. Now, lastly, not in every case do employees have control over their work hours or their location. They don't have as much flexibility as they would have if they were the actual business owner. So now that we've covered what an employee is, let's move on to what an entrepreneur is and the good and the bad, good and the ugly about that. So heaps of pros for an entrepreneur. As I said, they don't have a boss. They are the boss. So they make all of the decisions around their business. They dictate as to what their earnings are, so they're not capped in any way. It all depends on what their actual individual efforts are. They've got flexibility in terms of where they work. They can work wherever they like. They can work whatever hours they like. So they can work all around their own schedule, around their families, around their gym schedule, around anything else in their life. They work around it. So with all of those benefits, being an entrepreneur sounds awesome, right? Well, it is. However, of course, there are some cons associated with it. And these are an irregular income. So unlike an employee where you're receiving a regular salary, there it is up and down for entrepreneurs. You are dependent on commissions and sales. So one month could be very different to the next. It's quite risky, of course, as having your own business always is risk. And a lot of businesses, they fail within their first 3 months, so up to 90% of them. So quite a big failure rate. So of course you don't want that to be you. Another thing is, as I said, a benefit is that entrepreneurs can work around their own lives. That also is a con for entrepreneurs in that you are needing to schedule your work around your life, which isn't always easy as opposed to if you're in a 9 to 5. And lastly, entrepreneurs need to be developing themselves in order for their business to grow. Otherwise, they stay stagnant and tend to go out of business. And lastly, something that is just part and parcel of being an entrepreneur is failing, and at times failing greatly. So entrepreneurs just need to understand and accept that failing is all part of growth. And so the key is when you fail is picking yourself up, learning from it, and moving forward and using that learning in the future in your business. So there you go, what it means to be an entrepreneur as opposed to an employee and the pros and cons of both. Neither one is right or wrong. Essentially, it comes down to whatever suits you as to what is best for you to be. I hope this video has been of value to you. If you have gotten something out of it, then please do give me a big thumbs up. And until I see you on my next video, I certainly hope that you take the greatest care.